got anything from my wife, so I'm assuming no news is good news. Yeah, I haven't got anything. You can fire away, Rich.
Okay, well, I guess we'll start with the best first. Why don't you walk us through that, the touchdown pass to Ryan Grant at the end there?
Good play call by Jay. The coverage took me to Ryan based on the pre-snap and post-snap alignments, and Ryan did a great job creating separation and slipping through there, and kept 2 feet in bounds and made a great play. That one felt really good.
There's receivers like Terrell Pryor, Josh Doctson, Jamison Crowder on this team, but specifically Ryan Grant, we've seen Jay Gruden cape up for him for years now. What was it like for him to be on the opposite side of that touchdown for you, and what you've seen behind the scenes?
We got to continue to get Ryan involved, and he continues to show up on our practice film, being wide open, running really good routes. You know, I'll work a go ball on the left side, and you can pick either side, and Ryan's running by his defender on the other side. So it was great to get him a touchdown today, and we've got to continue to get him involved and give him opportunities because you know, he'll prove us right.
Obviously, the end was great. What did you make of your day overall, though? It seemed a little uneven, but maybe decision-making and throws kind of separate them.
In this league, it's always going to be up and down, and when you run the ball as well as we do, you know, that creates a different type of game. So glad we won and found a way to be resilient, make plays, and showed a lot of character, a lot of good things today.
Along those lines, you know, that's obviously good defense, but to finish that way with the pass game where you get the big throw to Pryor, you get the big throw to Grant, how good is that just to maybe trying even to build on that?
Yeah, you know, we said it all along. I think we're a work in progress in offense, trying to find our identity and what we do well and what we want to feature. And each game we're learning and growing. And always good to make plays in the passing game, but make no mistake, it's also nice to hand it off to Chris Thompson and watch him just go, you know, 50, 60 yards for a touchdown. So I got no complaints with that either.
That is what I was going to ask about. How did the heavy dose or balanced dose of running plays in the first and second quarters, first half, help the offense?
Well, you know, the one drive we scored on, I believe we didn't even throw a pass, if I remember right. I mean, I don't know how many times that happens during a season to have an entire drive of running the ball, and that was unique. And you know, you got to credit the offensive linemen with the way they blocked, and the tight ends with the way they block on the edge, and our receivers downfield have done a really good job blocking. And just really proud of our offensive line and the way they battled today and kept playing, and pass protection and the run game, and going against a lot of really talented players in the front seven for the Rams.
I'm sorry.
That's right. Just to follow up on Chris, he said he did you wrong today with that one that bounced off his chest. He knew it 6 points there. Do you guys have a conversation, or what's your reaction to him saying that?
I think we all look at ourselves and point the finger at ourselves and see plays that we could have done better. And Chris is a great teammate, and one of the reasons I love our locker room is because we don't have a lot of guys who are blaming other people. You know, they take ownership, and Chris is certainly at the top of that list. And I missed Chris on a third down. I thought I was across the line of scrimmage, and so I was unable to kind of throw it smoothly. And if I had just kind of settled in and thrown it, we probably could have hit that one to Chris. So there were plays I left out there, too, that would like to have back.
I didn't see the final time of possession, but it was about 10 minutes right toward the end of the game, the disparity. What kind of net effect does that have on your defense and on their defense to be out on the field that much longer?
Yeah, I'm sure there are many statistics you can look at that were helpful. I think the time of possession is a direct correlation with how well we ran the ball at times today, because you can churn the clock and stay on the field. And it's always a helpful statistic, but ultimately it's points that matter, and you got to turn that time into points.
But is that 10 minutes an eternity for a defense to be out there if they're?
It all depends. You know, you got to make plays, and ultimately it's got to lead to points one way or another. So I'd like to think that we're able to stay on the field and give our defense a blow and try to wear down the Rams, but you know, you still have to execute and finish drives and come away with field goals or touchdowns, preferably touchdowns.
Can you tell when Jay kind of gets in a rhythm as a play caller? Obviously, your second game with him back calling the plays, but when he gets in a rhythm, and are you on the same page, they will kind of almost predict where he's going to go?
Yeah, every drive is different because if we're running the ball so well, I mean, he's in a great rhythm because we're staying ahead of the chains. Why would you abandon the run game when you're just going so well? Just keep doing it until they prove they can stop it. And there's other series where, we're having a hard time. We're not executing. We're not handling the ball well, and we give them, long down and distances, and then it's tough. There aren't many plays for 3rd and 20 or 2nd and 25. So, can put him in a tough spot, too, as a play caller. So we got to execute plays and stay ahead of the chains to give him a chance to call what he wants to call.
I hope it's okay that I noticed you have a little souvenir. You have the game book with Sean McVay on the cover, and wondering if that's a tradition for you or if that one has special meaning.
can't say enough good things about Sean, but you don't have to look too far into that one. I just have a couple family friends here, young kids. I always like to take the program. If there's any family friends here, I give them to the young kids. I think when I was a kid coming to games, I would have loved to have that, so I thought I'd give that to them. But great to see Sean before kickoff. Matt LaFleur was my quarterback coach here. Two really good people, two of the best people I've ever met in my time in the NFL, and just think the world of them and wish them all the best the rest of the year, and we'll be pulling for them as they play.
Double overtime game here last night. What was the field like, the condition of the field?
The only thing I noticed was it felt fast. When we went out to warm-ups, the grass I felt like was cut really low. Maybe it's always like that, but just from what we're used to on our practice field or our game field, I felt like it was a low surface and felt fast, and I didn't notice anything during the game.
Are you surprised at how long, the work in progress of the passing game, that it's taking, maybe is it taking longer than you thought, about what you thought?
I don't know that we have a lot of expectations. I think we're optimistic that right away we're going to be able to operate out of the gate, but when you're going against your own defense day after day after day, it doesn't necessarily give you a great picture of what the real thing's going to look like against different teams every single week. And we're going to figure out an identity as we go and see what we do well, and we got to figure it out. The sooner the better,
Coming in, you probably didn't figure on handing the ball to Samaje like 20-some-odd times. What did you think of his readiness for that load and how he handled everything?
Well, I think the trend with running backs when they come into the league as young players is they know how to run the ball, and it doesn't take a lot of playbook knowledge to know to take the steps and hit the right gap and have the right vision. I think the challenge sometimes is in pass game, pass protection, knowing where your eyes need to be. Even a guy like Chris Thompson, I think he took major steps in like his third year, so it takes time. But I thought Samaje ran the ball really well today. He's got some power to him, some explosiveness, and just like with Rob Kelly last year, when you can give a rookie opportunities, it builds their confidence and they start to play like more of a veteran as the year goes on.
Kirk, we know you're excellent at compartmentalizing, but also we're about to be a new dad, like imminently.
Yeah.
Were you truly able to just put that out of your mind for the course of this game? How did you manage that?
Yeah, I was able to. I had enough to worry about here in the moment, I think, and tried to stay present. And I knew that there was nothing I could do, so it didn't help me at all to be thinking about that while I'm playing. But Julie had affirmed all weekend that nothing had changed, and there really wasn't any updates. So it seemed like it was going to take past today and maybe even past the due date tomorrow.
Thanks, Kirk. That's it.
Thank you.
That's all, folks.